see you!
Welcome, everybody!
Hey, you guys, you better get ready.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, everybody, to the second season of Desert Theatricals' children's writing program, Inspire, brought to you by Rancho Mirage Library and Observatory Foundation. We're so lucky that this season we found some wonderful stories by some very talented authors. So, let's get started. The first story comes to us from author Sophia S. Foreman, and the title of her story is Work Hard, Play Hard. Once upon a time, there was a little girl named Ava. Now, Ava did not work hard. She never tried to work hard, but she had lots of fun, and she liked to play hard. There was also a boy named Justin. Now, Justin always worked hard, and then he got to play hard for the rest of the day. His mother, Andrea, was so proud of him. Oh, look at you, Justin. You work so hard. I'm so proud of you.
Thanks.
Well, one day, Justin and Andrea were in class in 4th grade, and their teacher, Mr. Gold, he knew that Ava was not working hard, so he came up with a plan.
Let's have a pizza party for this class. Because you are all such hard workers.
Yes!
Everyone was so excited except for Ava.
Why do you say that we're all hard workers? I'm not.
I know you're not. But some students are not hard workers, but they can become hard workers.
Well, at lunch, Ava sat next to Justin, and she told him,
You know, you're a really hard worker. You deserve the pizza party.
Oh, thanks.
How do you learn to be a hard worker?
Oh, well, you just make it a habit, so then it becomes easy.
Okay.
Well, after that day, Ava learned to work hard and asked for help if she didn't know how to do something. Her motto from that day on was,
If you can work hard, you can play hard.
and that's Work Hard, Play Hard by Sophia S. Foreman. The end.
Yay!
Our next story is Desert Disaster by Curtis Lindow. Chandler and Josh were driving on a remote road through the desert, headed to the river. They were driving along when their car started to make a weird noise.
Wow, what's that?
What is that noise?
What is that?
All of a sudden, the car stopped.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Josh got out of the car to see what was going on.
I'll see what's going on.
What is it, buddy?
He looked at the car and found out that they had run out of
Oh,
gas.
Chandler, we're out of gas.
Josh told Chandler and they both tried to call a tow truck, but they had no cell service.
Nope.
Nope.
I don't got it. Do you?
Nope.
They did
Nothing
not
here.
have that much water and only some snacks.
I don't have any water. Do
I
you?
have some snacks.
Oh, jeez.
They started to set up camp on the side of the road. They stayed there the rest of the day and the night, hoping a car would see them. But no one stopped. The next morning, they officially ran out of water, and they were getting dangerously thirsty.
Oh, I'm thirsty.
Me too.
Chandler said he saw some green trees in the distance.
I saw some green trees in the distance.
And where there are trees in the desert, there must be water.
And where there's trees in the desert, there must be water.
Josh was too thirsty to go, so Chandler went to go see if there was anything there. He was getting super thirsty, but he kept walking. He finally got to the trees, and it was a beautiful oasis. He was so happy he cried. Chandler gulped the water and found a rock shaped like a big cup that he filled to carry to Josh. He headed back to Josh and found his way. Josh was almost dead, but Chandler gave him the water, and he was okay.
Oh, I think I'm okay.
They brought all the stuff they had in their car to the oasis. When they got there and set up a little camp, they started to get hungry.
Oh, I'm famished.
So hungry.
Josh and Chandler found a sharp rock and a stick and tied them together with thick vines growing on the trees to make spears. They would use the spears to try to catch fish.
Oh,
Amazingly, they caught one!
We got one!
They put it on a rock in the sun to cook because it was 110 degrees out. When they were done, they jumped in the water to cool off. The water was really deep. They splashed each other and played water games.
Gotcha!
When they got out, they found out their fish was done cooking. So they found some palm tree bark and used it as plates. They both said the fish was really good.
Oh, it's the best fish
Delicious.
ever, Chandler.
They built a shelter. They hung out in the shelter for a while and waited. Then they heard footsteps above them, and they got freaked out.
Whoa! That doesn't sound like a mouse.
Josh decided he would be brave this time, and he climbed out, grabbed a desert twig for a weapon, and yelled while running toward the footsteps. He felt foolish when he realized it was just a guy hiking.
What are you doing out here?
Our car broke down.
What, you're a clown?
No, our car broke down.
Oh, well, I can help you with that.
You can?
Yes. Come on.
Josh ran back to tell Chandler. And
Come on,
when they
Chandler.
finally got to the car, they introduced themselves.
Hi, I'm Chandler.
Hi.
Hey, I'm Josh.
I'm Mike. Well, come on, I'll take you to get some gas for your car.
Thank you.
Everybody buckle up. Here we go.
When they returned to their car with the gas, they thanked Mike.
Thanks,
Mike.
See you next year.
They had a new friend, and they planned to meet up at their new vacation house, the Oasis, in a few weeks with proper supplies. It turned out to be more fun than the river.
Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, buddy.
The end. That was Desert Disaster.
The Grand Kit Academy by Lucy Ann Recook. Once upon a time, a little black cat walked down the street. He meowed and meowed as if asking for food or money. He continued up and down the street. This was noticed by a little girl sitting at a window on a broken stool taped together with duct tape. The girl was called Kit, who lived in the orphanage on the street. She wondered why this cat was walking down the street meowing at people. But of course, Kit had to come up with a name for the cat. She thought and thought, but no name. She walked around her room in search of inspiration. She saw an old book on a bookshelf. She picked it up, and the title said,
World History at a Glance.
The Olive Farm. She knew his name. His name was...
Oliver.
She ran to the window to look. Oliver was about halfway down the street. Kit called his name.
Oliver!
She did not expect him to answer, but he did. To her surprise, he looked back and came running to the very big gray building. She opened the window and let him in. He jumped in the window. She closed the window and said,
Hello, Oliver.
The dark black cat looked up at her and said,
Hello, Kit. I've been waiting for you to call me.
What?
I've been sent to take you to the academy.
I'm not sure what you mean.
I'll explain on the way.
Oliver magically transported them to the front door.
Whoa, wait, how did you do that?
Just get in. Be quiet and follow me.
Okay.
Kit was quiet. Oliver then turned into a horse with wings. Then a carriage popped up behind him.
What is this?
I'll explain. Come on, let's go.
Kit got in the carriage and sat down. Then the carriage flew into the sky. Oliver, in winged horse form, was pulling the carriage. They finally reached the school.
Whoa, this is magical.
Yep.
They landed on the landing spot and turned back into the cat.
What is this place?
Welcome to the Grand Kit Academy.
The building was huge, at least 80 feet tall. It was a gray stone building with a school name, Grand Kit Academy.
Wait, Kit is my name.
Yep, it is. Now, let's get in. Come on.
Okay.
They walked in. Kit then stepped into a pit and fell. She landed in her bed. She was back home. It was just a dream. She jumped out of bed and ran to the window. She stared at the street. She saw Oliver. She cried out,
Oliver!
The black cat did not turn around. Maybe she would see him in her next dream. The end. The story, Grand Kit Academy by Lucy Ann Recook.
Our next story comes to us from author Jeri Lindow, and the title of the story is trampoline park bully. Timmy and his sister Tammy went to the trampoline park, and they jumped up and down on the trampolines. Then they went to play dodgeball.
Oh, dodgeball, Tammy, come on!
Daddy?
But a bully was in the park,
Oh, it's the trampoline park bully,
He's
Tammy.
here.
and he threw a ball super hard at them.
You are so weak.
You got him, Timmy, go!
Oh, no.
You can do it!
And Timmy and Tammy won.
Yeah!
And the bully, he started to cry.
Oh no!
So Timmy and Tammy went to McDonald's. Welcome to McDonald's. How may I help you?
Oh, Tammy, what do you want?
Chicken nuggets.
Oh, can I get some chicken nuggets, please? And a hamburger and french fries.
Coming right
Oh,
up.
thanks.
Here you go.
Wow,
Thank
that was
you.
fast.
Well, while they were eating, the trampoline park bully came in.
He's here!
I'm sorry I was such a jerk.
Well, that's okay. We forgive you.
And to celebrate, they all had free ice cream.
Ice cream! You scream! We all scream for ice cream!
And that's Trampoline Park Bully by Jeri Lindow. The end.
Magic Earth by Samuel Recook. Once upon a time, there was a magic world. In that world, there were magical animals and people that could control water and ice. They could do many good things with their powers.
Jaja,
Gabor.
Eva,
Gabor.
Magda.
Gabor.
But there was bad magic too. One person had very bad magic. Her name was Black Shade.
Others use their magic for good. Silly fools. I will use my bad magic to become the most powerful person in the world.
One night, Black Shade went to the houses of the good people and took them to an underground place where she got her powers and turned them into black knights for her army.
My army will take over the world, fight those without powers, and turn everyone into bad people.
What she didn't know was that one person, Veronica, survived by pretending she was bad.
I'm going to go and kick a puppy.
That sounds great, Veronica.
She ran away and hid in the underground cave. Veronica said,
I will only use my power for good, but I must fight the bad knight in 2 days, so I'd better work out to gain my power.
after 2 days, the bad knight and Veronica battled with their magic. And Veronica won!
Broke a nail.
Black Shade was so angry, she said,
I'm going to make everyone disappear!
Now, it was only Black Shade and Veronica left. They began to cast magic spells at each other, but Veronica was more powerful, and she created a magic cage and locked Black Shade in it. But Black Shade turned herself into a shadow and escaped. She snuck up behind Veronica, put her hand on Veronica's shoulder and said,
I will bring all the people back into the world.
and with a wave of her hand, everyone came back. Everyone, that is, except for Black Shade and Veronica, who disappeared and haven't been seen since that day. The end. Magic Earth. Next up, we have a story. It's entitled A Perfect Movie Theater.
I stepped into the theater, sitting in the third row. It was the perfect theater, fresh popcorn in one hand and a Sprite in the other. Setting my things down, reclining in my chair back as I looked at the tasty menu. Nobody else was in the theater. It was only me. I felt like crying. Surely the movie wasn't that bad, right? Baby Girl was the movie I came to watch. It was a movie about the life of an average girl going through the phases of her life. I thought it was fantastic when I wrote the script and directed it all by myself. First, I would go to my job in the morning at a fast food restaurant, and then my second at night as a cashier at the grocery store. During my breaks, I would work on my script, and if I had writer's block, I would work on costuming. Once I had enough money, I hired actors and actresses, myself being one of the characters. It was no easy task. I had to leave behind my fast food job and film whenever I could. The actors didn't enjoy how inconsistent and how unprofessional I was, so I had to keep hiring new ones, which really hurt the process. I had to buy the cheapest food I could find. It was hard work, and things were running slowly but surely. After a year had passed, and with the help of fundraising, I was finally able to get a good producer to show it in good theaters. But even after that, the film was a flop.
It stinks.
Maybe it was because there weren't many trailers, so people forgot. Maybe I should have had a different dream. But then I saw Clara, one of the actresses, come into the theater. And a few moments later, John came in, and then Kyle, until the theater was filled with all of the people who had made the movie. I had made a family. It didn't matter how many people saw the film. That moment right there was magic in itself. Oh, wow! Thank you! Thank you!
A perfect movie theater.
And the next story is The Crazy Boat Story, written by Rebecca Lindow. Well, it was December, and my mom and I have been saving up our money so that we could take a trip to Hawaii for vacation.
$2,999, $3,000.
We saved $3,000. But then my mom, she got an envelope, and on it was a picture of a boat, and it was called Mercy Ships.
Look, it's information about a ship that's a hospital called Mercy Ships. It goes to poor countries and helps heal people with backwards legs and large tumors, and the doctors and nurses work for free.
Wow.
You know, God has told me that we should give our cruise money to them. What do you think?
We should. So that's what we did. We gave our $3,000 to Mercy Ships. Well, a few months later, my mom and I decided, let's go camping, Mom. Let's go to Parker, Arizona.
That sounds great.
And we can tow our boat. Yes! Oh, but the only problem was we didn't have the right kind of car to tow the boat. What are we going to do, Mom?
We could call Jeff.
Oh, no! We'll call John and Jenny.
Oh,
They'll
John
do
and
it.
Jenny.
Call
Yes,
them, Mom.
that's
Call
much
them.
better. Okay.
So Mom called our friends John and Jenny to see if they'd do it for us.
Hello?
Hello. Would you be willing to tow our boat?
Absolutely.
Oh, great.
Oh, that was great. But the only problem was, well, John didn't know how to tow a boat. So he watched videos on it. Meanwhile, Mom and I, we went ahead and we took off to go to Parker, Arizona and set up our camp.
Okay.
Come on, Mom. We were all set up now. We were ready to go, and we were waiting for John and Jenny to come. And we waited, and we waited, and we waited. The problem was, John did not know how to tow a boat. He was busy texting on his phone while he was driving. And Jenny said,
Look, John! Is that our boat flying past us?
Whoa!
Oh, no! The chains came undone, and now it almost fell. Oh, it's falling in that ravine!
Oh!
well, they texted my mom that the boat had fallen in a ravine.
The boat's fallen into a ravine!
Mom, you better go help them get that boat.
Okay.
So Mom went. She helped them get the boat out of the ravine. And luckily, it wasn't damaged too much. And when they got it, we were still able to use it. And besides, we weren't worried. We had insurance. Thanks, John and Jenny.
No problem. Have fun.
You're very
Thanks.
welcome anytime.
Come on, Mom, I want on a water ski.
Here we go.
Whoa! Whoa! And when we got back home, we were able to put an insurance claim in to fix our boat. And I was thinking, Mom, here we went and gave that $3,000 to Mercy Ships. And we were lucky enough to still get to go on a vacation. And we even got $6,000 from the insurance company to fix our boat. And my mom said,
You really can't outgive God.
and that's the Crazy Boat Story, written by Rebecca Lindow. The end.
You, by Olivia Espinoza. The important thing about you is that you can be anything, that you are important in life.
We think everyone is important because everyone is different, and that is because you are being who you are.
Because of you, the library is still open.
You are amazing. You can laugh, you can smile.
Can't be someone else, but you can't be you.
You can have an open heart.
You can be nice and strong.
You can be tired, you can be sad.
But you are always nice.
You
are
amazing.
You, by Olivia Espinoza.
Our next story comes from the author Madeline DeRoy, and the title of her story is Space Oddities. Oddit and Oddity, the two tiny spacemen, they were left behind by their family at the age of 7. They said,
We will forge a new way of space travel.
they were determined to follow their dreams. They knew every star in the night sky, the name of every nebula and galaxy. Their minds worked at 10 times the speed of any other kid.
Hey, I've got an idea. We can build a spaceship.
Yes.
I know we can get the materials from that ship that crashed over there.
Oh, well, all right. Where?
In the dump. The metal dump. I bet there are other ships that have crashed there too. Come on, let's go.
So off they went to the dump and they gathered up all the materials from the past spaceships. They brought it all back. And they decided once they got back that they had to come up with a plan.
Bloop, bloop, bloop.
They planned out the structure of the ship, the kind of features it would have, and how it would work. And then, when they were done with their plans for their rockets, they ran back to the metal dump. They grabbed everything else they needed. Then they put the ship together by welding and bolting parts together. And a layer of metal was put over it. It looked so real, almost too real.
Looks amazing.
It's the best.
They entered the spaceship and put all their things in it, hoping to find life on a new planet or even a new galaxy. Amaranth was basically empty.
Oh, I can't wait to see what happens next, Audit. Oh, but what happens if we don't find anyone there?
Oh, I think we'll find someone there. Trust me.
Oh, I do want that.
They launched up into the atmosphere, and the ship traveled through its long journey to Duria. Once they landed, they stepped out and found their family. And their life continued in happiness. And that's Space Oddities by Madeline DeRoy. The end.
Our next story is Bizzy Mr. Zack by Deanna Thalen. This unusual story happened in the year 2020 when the whole state of California was in lockdown and kids went to school online. There was a boy named Jimmy, an ordinary third grader, but with an extraordinary dog named Zack, Zack Russell. Zack was always busy. He was able to learn new tricks amazingly fast and understood 3 languages.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonsoir.
Bonsoir.
Adios.
He was curious and smart. At home, he was called
Bizzy Mr. Zack.
Jimmy liked his regular school only for recess and PE. He did not like boring classes, homework, and difficult assignments. Every time Jimmy had an online class, Zack was sitting nearby his desk, looking at the screen and listening to his teacher. One day, Jimmy had a difficult test. He was looking at his computer screen, trying to figure out how to do the math problem. Suddenly, Zack jumped up and started to type. Zack was so smart that the test was done in 10 minutes.
Wow, that's amazing!
He submitted his work, and the teacher gave him an A+. This was the first time Jimmy had ever gotten an A+. The next day, Jimmy told his teacher,
Hey, Teach, my camera seems to be broken.
He said he would have to attend classes by only using the microphone and the chat. So Jimmy trained Zack to bark every time the teacher would call on him. That way, Jimmy could go to the computer and answer the teacher. One day, the homework assignment was to write a story, print it, sign it with your name, and send it to school by mail. Zack did it, but since he's a dog and can't hold a pen, he just put a paw print and sent the assignment to school. When the teacher got an assignment, thank you, with a paw print instead of Jimmy's signature, she called Jimmy's parents.
Jimmy's house. Jimmy's mother speaking.
Hello, this is Jimmy's teacher. Would you please check to make sure that Jimmy's computer camera is working?
Of course I will. Hold on. Looks good to me.
Since it was not broken, Mom just turned it on and left. Zack started a class without knowing the camera was on, and the teacher realized that Jimmy had just been skipping school and had Zack do all of his work for him. Jimmy almost got into big trouble when everybody found out about this setup. But since it was such a smart idea and the boy put a lot of work into training his dog, he did not get in trouble. But now he has to keep his camera on all the time. And as for Zack, he went to college and became Bizzy Dr. Zack. The end. This was Bizzy Mr. Zack by Deanna Thalen.
The Turkey by Emma Espinoza. There was a newly wedded couple, Katie and John. They just moved into a cottage and hoped to start a new life, but boy were they wrong. They just unpacked into the cottage, and they were taking a walk. They saw a policeman, and he said, "Have you seen the wild turkey? He is super dangerous."
No.
The couple went back to the cottage because they thought the policeman was crazy. That night, they heard,
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
and John said,
Oh, it's nothing, it's nothing.
John and Katie went back to bed. In the morning, while eating pancakes, they heard it again.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
They went to bed that night, and they heard it, but it was louder, and Katie screamed.
Gobble, gobble, gobble.
And John said,
John, you know we have to go to the policeman in the morning.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
In the morning, they raced to the policeman and said,
The turkey's at our house, up on the hill.
They raced up there, and the policeman looked around, and they finally caught the turkey.
Pancakes. Gobble, gobble.
But the reason it was so dangerous was that it knew how to control stuff with his mind.
Look into my eye.
Our lives are in danger.
The policeman thought it was funny and said to the couple, "Don't worry. That turkey's in a cage now." But the turkey was out a few weeks later. The turkey told them to move.
You will eat tofu for Thanksgiving this year.
And Katie and John,
You will move away, far away.
they moved away. Let's just say they fell for it.
Pancakes.
And that is the story of the turkey.
Gobble, gobble.
The Turkey by Emma Espinoza.
story comes to us from author Chloe Hall, and the title of her story is Space Sitter. Well, a few years ago, I was babysitting, and I was walking to the house where I was going to babysit. And when I got there was Mr. Klein. Hi, Mr. Klein.
Hi.
And I saw the kids that I was going to be babysitting. Hadley, who was 5, and Lucas, who was almost 9. Well, when Mr. Klein left, bye, Mr. Klein.
You behave. Mind the sitter.
All of a sudden, I saw a strange glow coming from the backyard in the children's playhouse. I walked up to the door and said, "Do you see that?"
Well, let me look.
Where?
Oh, and they kept saying, please, it was driving me crazy.
Please.
Okay, kids, you know what? It's probably just an old lamp, but let's go check it out.
Okay.
So we went in the backyard and I picked up a stick and I started to poke at the playhouse. And all of a sudden, the light got brighter and brighter. And before long, we were sucked into the playhouse and up into the air. And we were screaming. All of a sudden, it got very dark. Oh, I told the kids, it'll be okay. I didn't know that. I just said that to give them reassurance. But then, all of a sudden, we felt that the house was landing. Oh, we landed on a hard planet with big holes in it, and the sky was a strange yellow color. Oh, and I looked. Everything was red and maroon. I recognized this from my science books in school. We're on Mars. I looked at the kids and we all smiled at each other. We were just about to go outside and step onto Mars when all of a sudden the house sucked us back up into the air. We were screaming. As I looked out the window, Mars was getting farther and farther away. And before long, we landed back in the backyard. When we got out of the playhouse, I told the kids, let's go in the house and draw pictures of everything that just happened to us. And that's just what we did. Faster, more. And then Mr. Klein came home. And the children told him everything that happened.
We went to Mars!
Just a minute, one at a time.
Oh, and he just didn't believe us. You don't believe us?
I don't believe you.
Well, we were there.
But I looked at the kids, and I gave them a wink. They knew what that meant. And I said, goodbye, Mr. Klein. Goodbye, kids. Oh, what an amazing, fun time I had babysitting. And then, I woke up. It was just a dream. Space Sitter by Chloe Hall. The end.
This story is Ghost Story by Ethan Romero. A warm, sunny day in the middle of August, a young girl with long blonde hair and glittery silver shoes made her way down the street to visit her grandfather's house. What a creepy, decrepit house it was. Rusty bird cages littered the front yard along with taxidermy grizzly bears. The young girl held in her hands a bright red balloon, a birthday card, and a plastic container with a single slice of cake inside. As the girl arrived at the house, a young boy ran up to her.
Hey, no, don't go in there. No one lives there anymore, and it's all gross, and, well, you're far too pretty to get all dirty in there.
The young girl laughed and smiled, but didn't say a word. The boy, now concerned that the girl couldn't understand him, tried to grab the young girl by her shoulders, but his hands went through her body. The young girl lost her smile. She dropped the birthday card and the plastic container of cake. She let go of the bright red balloon and stared into the little boy's eyes. Her face contorted as her jaw dropped inhumanely. The girl with the blonde hair let out an ear-piercing scream. The boy immediately fell back, eyes filled with horror at the sight in front of him. The young girl's eyes turned blood red as her mouth dripped with a black, slimy substance. The boy quickly got up and ran from the sight, his heart racing and mind was only filled with images of the girl. The boy returned home, though no one was there. He locked the doors and grabbed his phone, texting anyone who was online. He explained what he saw and described the girl. It wasn't too long until he received a text message from a friend, along with a link to an online article.
Teenage girl found, drowned in a tub in a local townhouse. Sources say she was on her way to a grandfather's house when she was let inside and drowned.
The boy read the article out loud. His voice was shaky as he scrolled through the pages. The boy stood still, his heart stopping for a moment, and all the air left his lungs. His eyes looked over a picture of the girl that was posted in the article. That was the exact same girl he saw in front of the creepy house. The boy dropped his phone and backed up into his bed. He had just seen a ghost. The Ghost Story by Ethan Romero. The end.
Our next story was written by Athena Dunham. It's titled The Unicorn's Adventure Through Dance. The unicorn's two daughters, Violet and Chloe, asked their mom if they could try out dancing.
Mom, please, could we try out dancing?
Oh, yes, you can be anything you want to do.
Oh, thank you, Mom. Here, thank you.
They didn't know what dance they wanted to choose from, so they did them all. First, they tried out ballet. They put on their ballet shoes and stepped onto the dance floor. When they tried to dance, their ballet shoes kept slipping off. So they kept slipping and tripping. So they stopped. Then they tried disco. They were super excited to get on those sparkly costumes and dance. Once they got on their costumes and stepped onto that dance floor, but before they started dancing, the lights were so bright they were blinding them and they couldn't see anything. So they stopped. Next, they tried out salsa dancing.
Yes.
They got on their fancy outfits and stepped onto the stage. Once they heard the music, they said it was much too fast for them. So they stopped. Lastly, they tried out tap. They were disappointed with all the other dances, and they thought tap would be no different. They got on their tap shoes very slowly. They stepped out onto that stage very slowly. But when they heard that music, they started to tap dance. They had so much fun tap dancing. They even entered a dance contest.
Come on, let's sign up.
Okay, we can do it.
We can. Hi, Mom.
And guess what? They won!
Oh, boy!
Yay!
The unicorns Violet and Chloe knew that they were going to have so much fun tapping. The end. And that was The Unicorn's Adventure Through Dance by Athena Dunham.
The cast of Inspire, Miss Robin Lavalley, Miss Heather Reba, Miss Julie Schwaben, Mr. Gilmore Rizzo, and at the piano and music, Jeri Lynne. Thank you all for coming. We're glad we could have done this for you. Hope you had a great time. We'll see you next year.
Thank you!
Bye-bye.